Hey y'all, this is Angela, and welcome to the show Hodgepodge. This show is not about one thing, this show is about everything. Because in this old crazy world that we're living in, there is lots to discuss. So I hope you'll sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now let's get started with today's episode. Well, hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Hodgepodge with Angela. Y'all all know this by now, but I'm Angela. If anybody out there is listening that would like to be a guest of the show, you can reach out to the hotline, or on the hotline rather, at 404-939-7720. I would like to talk to somebody out there. I have a couple of ideas for shows, and I would like to have some guests. So if you're interested, just shoot me a text at that number, or you can call and leave a message. But I just wanted to take a moment or talk about today. Can y'all believe that it's 2023? I mean, we are a couple of weeks in. What are we? 3 weeks in? Let's see here. Yep, 3 weeks in. Can you believe it? I mean, it's just insane. 2023 is here, and so much going on in the Hodgepodge house. I know that everybody probably has so much going on. One of the things that I'm hoping to be more organized in 2023, you guys saw, if you follow me over on YouTube, we talked about my planner that I had bought for 2023, how I can stay organized and stay on task for home things and all of that. And it was funny because I was sharing this with my sister about my planner. And you know, I've always had a planner thing. You guys follow me, and if you watch my videos, you saw that I've actually bought some new planners. And they're not really planners per se. They're binders to put planners into. And I don't know how I missed this company all these years, but I was gifted one from a friend at church, and I fell in love with them. So I was like, okay, I want more. I want one for this activity, this activity, this activity. I'm actually even using one as my wallet, and I will show that setup over on YouTube. And it's funny because who knew that there were so many videos and so much desire out there for these type of planners and people setting them up and everything. So it's been really fun, and that's something that I've been doing as we start 2023. Because I'm doing so much, I have to be organized. So I'm using these planners, and the one that I'm using that I love so much is Chic Sparrow. And they don't offer the inserts for the planners. They just offer up the leather for your inserts. And y'all, let me tell y'all something. This is not a sponsored video or a sponsored podcast, but Chic Sparrow stuff, oh my gosh, y'all, it's amazing. Like, I'm sitting here right now holding one in my hand, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful blue. It reminds me of Tiffany blue, which is one of my favorite colors, and it's just so nice. And now that I have this beautiful planner, I want to be more organized. But anyway, I will post the link in the show notes for you guys. If you're planner people, go over and check out Chic Sparrow. They are an American made. They are made in America. They're shipped here in America and from America, and their customer service is phenomenal. So if you're interested in something like that, go over and check them out. Another thing I just want to share with y'all is what's been going on lately in the house. Y'all know that I have 3 dogs. I have Emma, Georgia, and Riley. And it's like having 3 little babies at home. They can't talk. They have to be taken out to go to the bathroom. If they have accidents, we have to clean it up. And sometimes it is just so challenging for me with 3 pups. I had Emma and Georgia prior to Riley coming on. And Riley is a little bit of a handful. He is so weird because he does not go far from the door to go to the bathroom, which is kind of a pain. But if you carry him down to the garden, he'll go down to the garden and potty with no issues. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that Riley was kind of a rescue per se. I took him from my parents. My parents really didn't have the time to care for him anymore. My stepdad has some health issues, and they just really couldn't take care of him the way he needs to be taken care of because he is a challenge. And y'all, if you're listening to this, that daggum Riley chews on his feet like he is eating a turkey leg. And I don't know what to do to get him to stop. I have bought everything. I've tried everything. I've tried some home remedies. I bought these pet lab things for him. Nothing works on this dog. And when I spoke to my mother about it, she's like, he's always done it. And she had him for a couple years. And he'll turn 6 this year. And my mother got him from someone else. We think he was a little abused. Maybe not abused is the right word, but neglected. We think that. We don't know for sure, but just some of the things that the person that my mother got him from said, we think there was a little bit of neglect that happened with him. But y'all, he chews on his feet like nobody's business. And I hate it because he chews and chews and chews until he hurts himself. And I'll hear him and I'll try to make him stop and he won't stop. And I have this soothing balm that I got from Amazon. It was part of it was like a little chew, came part of a set. And he did not like the chews, and he used them for about 2 months, and they did not do anything different. They did not help that poor baby in any way, shape, or form. But the soothing balm, I will put it on, and I hope it works for him. I don't know. He's like a baby. He can't talk and tell me if it helps. I'm just hoping that it does. But if y'all have any remedies out there for Riley and his poor feet, please text them to me at 404-939-7720. And that number is in the show notes as well. You can also go over to Instagram and follow me there at Hodgepodge with Angela, and you can message me if you have any suggestions. Riley also has what's called cherry eye, and it's just like this little red thing in his eye, which he had when I got him from my mother. She said she doesn't know how it happened. Took him to the vet. We put drops in his eyes when he allows it. He is king of the house, so he only allows certain things that he wants to allow. And sometimes he'll allow us to put him in, but the vet says as long as he's not scratching it or doesn't seem uncomfortable with it, there's no point in bothering it. So we're going to leave it alone, but any suggestions there would be appreciated too, or recommendation. So I'm going to move on to little Emma. Little Emma is my Maltipoo that we've had. Emma is 8, and y'all have seen pictures of her. And y'all, she has the worst time with her little ears. She just wakes up sometimes during the middle of the night scratching and clawing, and she'll scratch so much she knots up her hair on her ears. And she has medicine we put in them, and we keep her ears clean. The vet pulls out the hair and all that. But bless little Emma's heart. And Emma's the perfect dog. Emma is so good. Emma minds. I mean, she's just perfect, but her poor little ears. Oh, so anything there. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about Emma other than she's perfect. And she's my good girl. She's laying in here right now sleeping. They sit in my office with me during the day, except for Riley. He likes to go into a hole and he likes to be by himself. So Riley hangs out by himself. But Emma and Georgia are in here in my office with me all day while I'm in here. And then we move on to Georgia. Georgia's our little rescue that we got. If you're in the Georgia area around McDonough or Henry County, there's a place called Praying for Paws. You can go and adopt a dog. And that's where we got Georgia from. You guys know the story. 10 people had come to see Georgia. No one took her. And we think it's because she has this little hack that she does sometimes. And maybe they heard that and they were like, oh, something's wrong with this dog. We don't want her. But I ended up with her, and I'm so glad. I love her, love her, love her. But she has her little challenges too. She, right now, when she sleeps, she potties sometimes. So she's getting ready to go into diapers. And I found the cutest ones on Amazon. Oh my God, they're so cute. But Georgia's 12. She doesn't act 12. We give them something in their food called Rough Greens, and it's a vitamin, and it's supposed to help dogs. And I don't know everything that's in it. I just know that when we first started giving it to Georgia, she used to scratch a lot. And when we first started giving it to him, she stopped scratching. And so we're hoping, for a while we went off of it because it is a little on the expensive side. But for a while we took the dogs off of it. And now with Riley, with his feet and all. We're hoping that the rough greens will help. It's just a powdered substance. You shake it on their food, and it's supposed to help them with has all these benefits for pups. So that's the dogs. I mean, that's enough to make me crazy. Like I said, I love being home with them, but sometimes, it is a challenge. I'm going to continue my crocheting into 2023. If you guys followed me over on my YouTube channel, you know that I make hats and blankets. I make the hats for the homeless shelter in the Atlanta area and my church. Excuse me. I actually, goodness, I'm sorry. I actually take them to my church, and they're part of the homeless ministry. So I give them to them, and they take them and they witness to people in the shelters, and they give out the hats. And last year in 2022, I made about 150 that were donated. So I'm really proud of that. The blankets, there were about 30 to 40, I think, that I made. Those are made for there's a local women's center, cancer treatment center. So I donated and gave those. So I'm going to continue that in 2023. I don't know if I gave up crocheting, I don't know what I would do, because crocheting has just helped me so much. As you guys all know, I was suffering from some major anxiety, and if I didn't have the crocheting, I just don't know what would happen. There would be some trouble up in here in the bouillon or the hodgepodge household. So I'm going to do that. I'm trying to cook a little more. Something I'm going to share with y'all over the next couple of weeks is I'm going to make an attempt to do a budget for 2023. I have been looking at the amount of monies that I've been spending lately, and y'all, it's crazy. I mean, I look at it and I see Amazon, a couple $100, and I see this, and I'm like, holy crap, that's just way too much money to be blowing. And I have this problem that says, oh, I need this. I go to Amazon, I look for it, and I throw it in the cart. So I'm going to be more intentional with my budgeting and money. I've come up with my budget already, which I know that's going to have to be tweaked. I've never done anything like this before. It took me a couple weeks to get everything written out and settled and how I'm going to do it. In another show, I talked about how I take out monies and put it in a separate bank account for my groceries, and I'm still doing that, and that has worked wonderfully. I have not really spent anything over that, but my intent is to not spend anything over that. And if I find that because cooking more, I spend more because we're not eating out as much, but I may have to adjust the amount of monies that goes in there. But I'm going to talk about my budget in an upcoming couple weeks and show y'all what I'm doing and how I'm going to be intent with my money and try to get it on track and stop spending or wasting so much money, because I feel like that's what I have done in the last couple of years. And I've never budgeted before. The only time I've ever budgeted is, the money's in the bank for groceries. And I shared with y'all a couple weeks ago that hubby B and I would take out monies. We put an envelope, and that was our eating out money. Well, since we're not eating out as much, we've kind of done away with that. But we have so many things around the house that we want to do. I have a closet that I want to redo. I want to redo my bedroom flooring. Hubby B wants a greenhouse. So there's so much that we want to do, and that takes money, and everything else costs so much. So I've got to be more intent with where I'm spending my money, and not just because I want something, go buy it. I have these 6 rules that I'm applying for when it's time to buy something, that I'm going to read to myself and say, hey, do I need this? Where am I going to put it? How long is this going to make? A couple questions that I'm going to ask myself before I buy anything. Now, I'm not talking about if I want to go to the store and buy a candy bar, but which I don't need to do that either, because I'm trying to stay away from so much sugar. So lots of stuff happening here in the household as we start 2023. It's going to be a challenge to see if I can keep up with all this, because sometimes when I start doing things like this, I start with too much, and then, I get overwhelmed, and then I just have to stop. But I just wanted to give an update of what's going on here in our household, and hope you guys all had, and which I said this last week, but hope you all had a nice holiday season. You're ready to get going. get some things in order. One of the things that for me this year, along with doing everything else, is to get my house in order, which my house pretty much stays pretty clean. But I want to do the windows and I want to do the baseboards and all that. So there's a lot going on, and my planner helps keep me on track of what I need to do. So that planner is phenomenal. It is called a Passionate Penny Pincher, and I've talked about it before, and I'll post the link to that in the show notes if you're interested in that. This is not a sponsored video by them either, but I just have so many things that I love, and I want to share those with y'all because maybe you'll fall in love with them too. So that's it for the show today. I just wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on, what's coming over the next couple of weeks, so you'll make sure to turn on that follow show. And if you're out there and you haven't given feedback on the show, if you could do that for me. And if you give it a 5-star, that would be even better. So thank you guys for listening. I'll see you next week. Be sure to check out the show notes for any links that I may have mentioned, something that you may be interested in. And until next time, bye y'all.